But yeah, I mean, really, the crux of it for me, and something we loosely mentioned last episode, but I did want to actually spend some time discussing. DMing can be difficult. DMing can be rewarding. DMing can be something you sink a lot of time into and really care about. And also, it can be pretty casual, depending on how you approach it. But at the end of the day, something that we all three believe is that DMing is fun, but could be more fun. Right? It is enjoyable, but there are ways to make it better than it is. And that's not necessarily the fault of anyone. It's more just speaking to the fact that it can become a task. It can become something that you do for the sake of other people. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to be doing it anyway, you might as well spend some time making it what you want to do. Some of the ways that I've found the best way to do that are finding fun roles, right? Making props, having a good time with role play. And specifically, and this is our topic for today, and our advice on how to homebrew, friends and foes. So the first question I wanted to kind of get into as a general topic is what we think the key to making a believable and likable NPC to the players specifically is. So this doesn't have to do with you, the DM. What do you think the players generally respond to in your experience?
So in my experiments,
Do you, you
I
run
do
experiments? I'm not even going to try.
Oh, come on.
No, you guys' voices are like 4 times deeper than mine. I'm not going to attempt the villain laugh. Go ahead, Kyle. Come on. Give me one.
There's got the giggles.
I would sound
Like Alvin and the Chipmunks over here, so I'm not gonna give it a whirl.
There's a limit to how much you'll embarrass yourself on the
No. It's not about embarrassment. I just lose, and I don't like losing.
Oh.
Come on, Kyle.
who said it's a competition?
It's a competition. Go ahead. Use your laugh.
Okay. One of the things that players most respond to, in my opinion, is a character that is somehow tangentially tied to a organization that they're a part of, or somewhere from their background, like, hey, this character, he used to live in that village that you were in that was destroyed, or this guy is also a paladin of your particular order.
Sure.
And so it's something that creates there is a slight connection between your character and this guy. You may or may not know him directly, but there is something to connect the two. And the other thing I find is endearing character traits, and that is a crapshoot. You can go cute little girl like, oh, I'm looking for my lamb, and if you get the wrong players,
The axe is getting brought out.
yeah, someone's little Sally's going to have a bad day. Other times you get a maniacal goblin that's always ranting about how he's going to kill everyone, and everyone goes, oh, he's so cute. We're going to stuff him in a bag and keep him forever. So specific personality traits, in my experience can be a crapshoot. And ties to other NPCs is another thing that I find. Like, I had a DMPC paladin for a little while because my players, there was not many of them. A couple of them were completely new, and no one chose a healer, no one chose a frontliner. I was like, okay, I need to fill both of these roles. Paladin, that's what I got. And he had a wife and 3 children, and they loved that wife and 3 children almost more than they liked the paladin.
They were ready to get rid of him. Like,
Oh, we're going to adopt you. I'm standing right here. Not anymore. So yeah, really it's ties to past, ties to other characters, and endearing qualities which you will probably instill accidentally.
Sure. Okay. So you would say it's like not so much design of the character themselves, but where they fit in relation to the players. Like, yeah, their personality matters and they should be not abrasive, but at the same time, it's much more about how do the players encounter them?
Yeah.
What is their relationship with the people around them?
Yeah.
Well, to add to that, he's describing characters that are kind of helping the players, and so the other group of NPCs are the ones that are trying to harm the players, right? But they tend to not last very long, right?
Very true, yeah, actually.
So sometimes it can be tough to put a lot of personality into an NPC, other than them being megalomaniacs, and then dying. So I did do that same campaign that there was a sailing campaign. I had a difficult short relationship with a very strong narcissistic personality. And so it wasn't a romantic one, but it was a friend who, but it doesn't matter. And I really was frustrated with that. So, of course, I poured that into my game, right? And I made this antagonist to the players in his own boat where he could kind of get away from them whenever they were about to whack him or whatnot. And gave me lots of opportunities to show up, screw the players over a little bit, tick them off, make them want to fix this, that, or the other, and then and just explore narcissism, and that was a little cathartic for me because that in life relationship had kind of affected me. So
Yeah.
For those who watched the last episode, this is also the guy whose cannon they stole and then drowned. I think. Is it not?
is it the guy who's can? No, but that was part of the same campaign.
It was same campaign, different guy.
After they had gotten rid of the narcissist guy, that was the new bad guy.
Got it.
All right. So,
Gotcha.
My bad.
Yeah, come on, Kyle. Come on. You got to get the callbacks
Yeah, you
right.
gotta keep-
Otherwise, we're on episode 2 and we're already bricking callbacks. Imagine like way later. No, and
breaking the YouTube etiquette.
for NPCs, I agree with your points, Kyle. It's not that I disagree with you, Rob. It's that getting to hateable NPCs is one of the next questions. So I'll
okay.
cover that one in a minute. But really, something that I think the players in my campaigns generally respond well to, and it's difficult to gauge, kind of like what you were talking about earlier, Kyle, is the stakes of why they're meeting this NPC. Like, I feel there's a game, a little bit of a cat and mouse between the DM and the players, where if you try too hard to be like, oh, this is your new best friend, they'll reject the character on principle.
absolutely.
But also, if you try too hard to be like, you will hate this character, they'll like the character on principle. So you have to kind of ride this in between of, how do I make somebody endearing? And so kind of like you were talking about, Kyle, I have 2 characters in a campaign that I actually just spun back up. So it had been not running for about 8 months because everyone was busy, but we got it going again. And they're both very different, but they both were very endearing to the players. One of them, classic trope, princess in a tower, basically, right? She was locked away, all this other stuff. So what made her endearing to the players is, one, she related to the 2 female players in my group. I'm not gonna act like I'm a particularly talented writer. I have a couple friends who are writers, both of them were women, and I was like, hey, help me. Because if I show up with this female character who's very obviously written by me, they're gonna be like, I hate this chick, like, let's get rid of her. So that was one thing that helped, was having a very grounded, like, not realistic, but approachable female character that didn't just feel like Jackson making his voice a little bit higher. And they loved that character. They fought and defended her well, and like, she was a very big part of the adventure. And then another character that they loved, he's actually the wizard that I talked about with the Pseudodragon. And they liked him for completely different reasons. Because he was entirely self-serving, like kind of nice, but really only nice because it benefited him, and he was very plain about that. If you guys piss me off or like make this harder than it needs to be, you're gone. Like, I'm just going to deal with you.
The
But
kind
he
of
needed
person
help.
who in real life is not that honest about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the game, what they liked about him was his singular motivations. So again, like, the reason that they enjoyed spending time with him is because they knew what he was about. He wanted treasure. That's all he wanted. They liked treasure.
Yeah.
He liked treasure more. He could take them on these fun adventures. He'd help them. They'd help him. And at the end of the day, there was no real need for it to go like more complicated. He's kind of a mentor figure to them now, which is hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Because he will charge them for advice. Like, he'll message them and give them a piece of information, and then he'll spend another spell slot to message them and let them know what's going on the tab. So he just keeps it running. Like, he'll be like, "That's 20 gold." Like, it's the second message.
Penny for your thoughts? Make it a gold and you got a deal.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
I want to steal that. That is awesome.
But they love him. They love
Yeah.
him. And I think kind of the crux of this question to me is, in order to write a character that the players like, not only do you need to know your players, right? Do you need to know whether or not they're going to reject the principle and spite you?
Right.
You also just need to know, what are they trying to do in the world? Like, what are their aims? And you'll get curveballs.
Right.
But I knew they wanted some treasure. I gave them a treasure hunting wizard. And he is stuck since like session 5. And we're on session 26, 30, whatever, something like that. Still love him.
Well, I sorry, I'm kind of
Speechless.
yeah, I know. I just like
No, nothing wrong with
I
that.
had like 10 thoughts pop in my head. You talk, Carl.
What was the question again?